How you doing, Tati?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just like a season for interviews and stuff.
Oh, yeah, right. So they just got
Yeah,
you
it's
on.
a little bit stressful, but it's the part of the job, right?
Yeah. Do you feel like you're on a hamster wheel, just answering the same questions over and over
Ex-
again?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully this one won't be too much like that. Of course, we're going to talk about your live album and stuff. We got to do that, but we're gonna have
Yeah.
some fun stuff for you too. But
All
first, I
right.
got to ask you, like, how are you holding up on Planet Virus and everything that's happening here? Um, how has it affected you?
Well, it showed me that I'm not only like I'm not a, a musician, like 100% musician all my life. You know what I mean? So I can do something else, and like I spent 6 months in California doing nothing except of um, developing some new skills, like in photography, and aquascaping, fish tanks, and blah blah blah. So I got some new skills, new knowledge, and new passion. So it it was totally okay. Well, for me, it was kind of like a challenge and experience to see what I'm worth without music, and if maybe someday I have to quit my job as a singer, so I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not it's not horrible at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're at home. You're in Kiev now.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
so, and
Right there. Yeah. You're right here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, uh, what is the situation there in Kiev? Are there, I don't know if you, I mean, you're aware here in the States, we're having all kinds of problems and some
Yeah.
people, wearing masks. Some people think, well, we don't want to wear masks. So they're fighting. We have mask wars and things. Is it like that there or what's the situation?
No, you know what? I was really surprised when I returned to Kiev because, well, like in California, for example, it was so strict that I actually had this strong habit to wear my mask even outside, walking on the street, and that's it. And so I heard that my bass player once, well, he was in California too, and once we met, he said, "Hey, dude, do you know that you don't have to wear it while you're outside?" It's no, but nevertheless, I still continued to wear that. And when I returned to Kiev, of course, if you enter a supermarket or shop,
Right.
you have to wear it. But as you take a taxi, for example, and it says like, okay, your driver is already wearing a mask and blah blah blah, make sure you're wearing it too. I take a sit and I see that my driver is maskless, and I
Yeah.
don't even want to start a fight. So it's not strict at all.
Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy just hearing. I've been talking to people from all over the country, all over the world in the last, 6, 7 months, however long we've been at lockdown. It's so interesting to hear how every place is kind of doing their own thing. You know what I mean? I think maybe that's
Yeah.
part of the problem. I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your new live album, Alive in Melbourne. Um, or Melbourne, I guess. Someone would chastise me. I think Melbourne, I think, is the way they say it in Australia, but
Who
someone
knows?
will get
We
mad
say
about that.
Melbourne. We
Yeah,
say
see, let's just do
Melbourne.
it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, uh, so this show happened on March 5th, I think I have it right, of this year, um, which is like
Probably.
a week before. Well, it's a week before we lock down here in Los Angeles. I know that. I don't know about everywhere else, but
Yeah.
roughly a week before lockdown. What was this, the actual last show you played, or were there more?
I don't remember. But the only thing I know that in 10 days after the show, if it really was at March the 5th of March.
Yeah.
So we went to South America. We played few shows there, and then we came to Mexico to play a Hell in Heaven festival.
Yeah.
That very day, we got to we got informed that the second part of our tour in Latin America is canceled, and today, on this day, this is our last show ever. Like, I mean, this year.
Yeah.
And that was like March the 15th of March. Yeah, that was the last show. That was my birthday, so
Oh,
kind of
wow.
weird sad present for
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but
better than having the last show be the day before your birthday, right? I mean, that would be worse.
yeah.
So obviously the show was recorded, it was filmed, I understand. Were you guys planning on releasing this as a live album anyway, or what's the story?
I wish I knew. I don't know, because a lot of projects they just come through me. I'm not even participating at them. So in them, yeah. And this project is one of them. I really am not a big fan of live albums,
Yeah.
so I'm not really interested in that, and I don't feel enthusiastic when it comes to record or film live album or something. So it wasn't my idea. I think that was Eugene's and our manager. So I wish they can be on my place right now and answer those questions because I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I knew that we got a proposition from video guys from Melbourne to film the whole concert, and we actually took the proposition, and because it was our first time in Australia,
Yeah.
and as a tradition, we always try to film the whole show when we're somewhere at the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they realized that it's really good to be like a present for all the fans around the world, as the only live show that you can watch in 2020, like the
Yeah.
during the pandemic. So
Yeah. You mentioned that you don't like live albums. I actually know a lot of people who don't like live albums, but so why don't you like them?
I think it's boring. I think it's boring unless you have like a huge production, like decorations, like like all the fancy clothes and stuff. Like Bjork, I think it's pretty much interesting to watch, but she's pretty much interesting to watch, but maybe just the first 30 minutes and that's it. Like everything is just like boring for me.
But do you feel like
I love music videos. That's the thing. I love it. So yeah,
yeah.
that's just a matter of my like preference.
But do you think that your live album, do you think it maybe carries a little more weight than most live albums because of the circumstances? Like it's happened right before the world changed, and I mean, and
Yeah,
we still don't know when live shows are gonna come back.
I'm not sure. It's not that the world will completely change. Like, it's not that musician will have like 3 legs or 5 arms. It's not a mutation. So concerts will be concerts, and they will still look the same. This live album is just represents us as musicians,
Yeah.
as a band in general, and also for people from different countries. It's nice to meet their fellow metalheads in Australia. To see how they act. How they are